everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Bobbie. It's Friday, so that means it's time for another episode of Weird Places You Never Knew You Need to Go. On today's episode, we are going to talk about one of the most amazing places that I've been to in a really long time, and that is Sedona-Arizona. Sedona is an American town fairly close to Flagstaff. It's kind of central in the northern Arizona. Sedona is known for its beautiful red rock formations, its powerful vortexes, its new age hippie shops, it's hiking. Yeah, basically all that really cool stuff. I decided that I was ready to take a trip to Sedona. We had just come back from Roswell and I just felt really pulled to go to Sedona. There was a full moon coming up, and so I thought, you know what, I want to spend the full moon in Sedona. And let me tell you, Sedona did not disappoint. I went on Travelocity and I was just looking for like inexpensive rooms, and I ended up getting this really cute little, it was kind of like a condo. It was fantastic accommodations. I was there by myself, so I just got a studio, but it was so big. There was so much room. There were so many amazing amenities. It was so nice to come home to at the end of a long day. It was a really great place. From my house, Sedona is about a 5-hour drive, so I was able to drive there, got there in the afternoon, and before I even went to my hotel, I stopped off at my first vortex. Vortexes are known as these energy centers, and scientifically, they're very hard to test. However, scientists have been relentless, and they have discovered that in some of these areas in Sedona, there is a circular energy. The energy is moving in a circular way, which is not normal. Normally it's linear. So what happens in these vortexes are you can actually see the trees in Sedona, especially closer to the vortexes. Normal trees that will grow just up and down everywhere else in the world will grow completely twisted in these vortexes. It is amazing. So the different vortexes have different types of energy flows. There's inflows for some of them, there's outflows. Some are feminine based, some are masculine based. Some of the vortexes are electric, some of them are magnetic. There's one that's actually a combination of both. And these different energy centers in Sedona on these different rocks can do different things. And there are some amazing books that you can find that explain a little bit more about vortexes, how they work, and how to utilize a vortex to do different things in your life. Some people use them for meditation, some people use them for healing, some people use them for manifestation. So whatever it is that you're needing, there's a vortex that will magnify the energy that you need to have magnified. There are two really great books that I would highly recommend. The first one is called Sedona, Psychic Energy Vortexes. This is by Dick Sutphin. And this book was really great. It has maps, and this is basically like a bunch of people's, their stories, their experiences. So I will link this down below in the description box. The second book that I refer to is called Scientific Vortex Information. This was by Pete Sanders Jr., and he actually is a graduate from MIT. He's a scientist, and so he looks at the vortexes from a scientific standpoint, which I really like. I'm one of those like, give me data, give me data. Yes, I love spiritual and woo-woo, but also I like data and science, so give me some of that too. And Pete Sanders Jr. definitely did that. I don't know if this is available on Amazon. If it is, I will link it down below. If it's not, I will leave the website. It's www.freesoul.net. I'll leave that in the description box down below if there's no Amazon link. I stopped off at my first vortex. I was ready to get a hike in, so on my way into town, I actually stopped and went to Bell Rock. I took a nice little hike. I'd never been to Sedona before, so I did not realize how gorgeous and amazing it was. So I did my hike at Bell Rock. I just did a gentle hike. I didn't go too far up. And then when I was done with that, I went back to my hotel room. I ordered in dinner. I got kind of freshened up, rested a little bit, because that night I had big plans to go on a UFO tour. I was looking on TripAdvisor for fun things to do before I left, and one of the things I saw was the Sedona UFO tour, and I thought, okay, I've just been to Roswell, so I've got aliens on the brain, and obviously all this stuff is happening with aliens in Peru. I even have aliens on my nails. So I figured, why not take a UFO tour? Okay, excuse my cracked windshield and my super dirty windshield. I've been traveling, I need to clean my windshield. But we're following this Suburban for the UFO tour, and he's got this like flashing light, and he's taking us, God knows where he's taking us, but yeah, so that we just follow that guy, the flashing light. It was a gentleman named Michael and his wife, Carla, who ran the tour. They provided us with these amazing night vision goggles that were so powerful. You could see so many things. And it was just a really cool experience. I've never gotten to look through like military grade night vision goggles before. So that was just amazing. But then to look at it and see potential UFOs in the sky, that was incredible. But what's even more incredible than that was that on my particular tour, there was a woman there and she was incredibly knowledgeable about weather satellites. And when we were looking in the sky, she was talking about a lot of different things as far as like satellites go and helping to determine what was a satellite and what maybe was something else. And it turns out that she actually works for SpaceX. It was so neat because there was this person there who was a wealth of scientific knowledge, as well as this couple who are running this tour that have all of their experience and esoteric knowledge. And so between the two, it was so cool. I felt like it was the coolest experience. I feel so blessed that I was able to have that person on my tour and have that experience. It was really fantastic. I would highly recommend, if you end up in Sedona and you're interested in this kind of stuff, definitely go check out the Sedona UFO tour. It was something else. After seeing UFOs, I was done for the night, so I decided to go home and call it a day. And the next day I woke up and I was ready to do my first hike. So my first hike, I went up to Boynton Canyon. That one was a brutal hike. It wasn't a brutal hike. I mean, when you first start off, it's a vigorous walk, but I think what made it really hard was it was like 103 degrees that day. So I picked the worst day possible to go hiking. So it was hot, but it was definitely worth it. It was so beautiful. I got some amazing pictures. So I'm in Boynton Canyon. I hope I'm saying that right. And I just hiked up the trailhead to go into the canyon. It was amazing. It was beautiful. And it was an intense hike. I'm not gonna lie, man. That was more than I'm used to, but definitely worth it. It's so gorgeous. It's kind of warm though today. It's like 84, which I can't really complain because in Yuma it's probably like 117 today. So anyway, I'm heading back. Look at this. Oh my God, you guys. Look at that beautifulness. La-da. When I left Boynton Canyon, I was hot and I was ready to cool off. So I went down to Slide Rock State Park to see the infamous Slide Rock. The water was incredibly cold, but so refreshing. It was very beautiful. This was the day of the full moon, so I had some Moldavite that I brought with me and I laid it out to charge in the sun down there at Slide Rock and meditated. It was a beautiful day. After spending a few hours at Slide Rock, I was beat. It was like in the afternoon, and you know when you've been out and it's like hot. So I went back to where I was staying. I took a bath, I took a nap, I just kind of relaxed. After my nap, I woke up, I had a little dinner, and then I headed out to Airport Mesa to go on a little sunset hike and to see the vortex. Before we go any farther, I just wanted to remind you that if you have not subscribed yet, now's a great time to do it so you don't miss out on any of my content. And if you want to be notified when I upload new content, click the notification bell. Okay, let's get back to our video. When I got to the Airport Mesa, it was really crowded, but I realized that all of the people were going to one side of the mountain to watch the sunset. Well, I went to the other side so that I could watch the moon rise because this was the night of the super full blue moon. I was like super excited. I did a time-lapse video to catch the rise of the full moon. This does not do the moon justice. It was so big and so full and so beautiful, but at least you can kind of get an idea of the beautiful scene that I got to look at in Sedona. And something that was like really cool on this trip is I kept feeling like everything was like destined or things were just happening the way that they were supposed to happen. So I hadn't really planned out this trip. I just kind of decided to go. When I first started thinking about going, I didn't even realize it was going to be the full moon, but then it was. Airport Mesa was no different. So I went up there and everybody was on the other side. So I came over to the backside to see the moonrise, and there was this amazing seating area that just no one was in. So I got to sit down, I set up my camera, I did some journaling, I burned some sage, I just relaxed, I got like in the zone. And then the coolest thing, there was a group of people that came from some type of a spiritual center or group or something, and they were having a full moon ceremony. And so they were doing a sound bath and they were just doing all kinds of activities, and it really added to the ambiance of just this very special moment and the special energy and seeing the moonrise. It was just a very beautiful thing, and I'm so lucky that I basically got like a whole ceremony for free just because I was in the right place at the right time. So that was very, very special. I also got to meet some interesting people up there. So that was a really cool evening. People were friendly and people were chatting. And as a single woman who travels by herself, there's a lot of times where I get nervous, and I'm very careful and hyper aware of where I am. But I have to say, when I was in Sedona, I felt incredibly safe the entire time I was there. I felt safe hiking. Of course, I was careful and I was, smart, but there was no point where I felt like my safety was in danger, which is so nice because then I got to just completely relax. The next day before I headed out of town, I stopped at this little shop and had an aura picture taken, and that was another really cool thing. When you're in Sedona, if you get a chance to take an aura photograph, definitely do it because it's really cool and really insightful. And there was a lot of stuff that was really, really accurate there too. In addition to all the fun things that I got to do, and there's so many other fun things that I didn't even get to do. There's so much to do in Sedona. But in addition to all the fun things that I got to do, I got to eat amazing food. I got to see beautiful rock and crystal shops. It was just such a nice, beautiful way to kind of recenter myself, reground myself. It was phenomenal. So that was my Sedona trip. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you ever get the chance to go to Sedona, go. You will not be sorry. I was only there for like 2 days, but it was amazing and definitely well worth it. If you like this kind of content and you want to see more weird places you never knew you need to go, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up. It lets me know that you like this and to create more of this kind of content. And also, if you have not already subscribed to me, what are you waiting for? Subscribe, hang out, let's hang out. Click the little notification bell if you want to be notified whenever I upload new content. Other than that, I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.